Good morning. The Durham Public Schools Board of Education organizational meeting is now in session. The first item on our agenda is a moment of silence. Thank you. The next item on our agenda is election of board chair and vice chair. Dr. Lewis?
Thank you so much, Chair Rogers. Good morning, everyone. Next item for business is the election of the chair of the Board of Education. In a moment, I will call for nominations for the office of chair of the Durham Public Schools Board of Education. The board will follow the procedures contained in Policy 2200. Nominations do not require a second. If more than one person is nominated for a chair, the board will vote on nominees in order of the nominations. The first person to receive the majority of the board members present is elected chair. At this time, nominations are now in order from the floor for the office of board chair. Are there any nominations?
Nominate Millicent Rogers to remain as chair.
Are there any other nominations?
Nominate Bettina Umstead.
Are there any other nominations? Hearing none. Nominations for board chair are now closed. Have Millicent Rogers and Bettina Umstead nominated for chair. This time we will take a voice vote on each candidate. Those in favor of Millicent Rogers as board chair, say aye.
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 Those that oppose, say no.
No.
No. No.
That's 2 for aye and 4 for no. Those in favor of Bettina Umstead as board chair, say aye.
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 Those that oppose, say no. Okay. Bettina Umstead has been elected chair of Board of Education unanimously with a vote of 6-0. Congratulations, Chair Umstead. I'm happy to pass the next section of the agenda to Chair Umstead. Give her a round of applause as she takes her seat.
Thank you, board colleagues. Nominations are now in order from the floor for the office of vice chair.
I'd like
I
to
no-
nominate Joy Harrell Goff as vice chair.
I nominate Millicent Rogers as vice chair.
All right, we have a nomination for Ms. Harold Goff as well as Ms. Rogers. Are there any other nominations? All right, we'll vote again similarly as we did for chair. All of those in favor of Ms. Harold Goff, please say aye.
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 Excuse me. All those in favor of Ms. Rogers, please vote aye.
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 So that there's no majority here, and there's a 3-3 split on one of these nominations. So it's my understanding if there is a split vote that we need to continue voting. Is that correct, Ms. Duperson? All right, so I'll reopen nominations.
Do a show of hands as well, because the voice votes are a little hard to.
We can do that. So I'll open the floor if there's any other nominations. But we still have Ms. Harold Goff and Ms. Rogers on the floor. Let's do this one more time. Ms. Harold Goff. If you're in support of Ms. Harold Goff, I'll ask you to say aye and raise your hand. Those in favor?
Aye.
Okay, that is 2 in favor. Um, those opposed, please use the same sign, say aye, and then also raise your hand.
Aye.
Yes, opposed.
Aye.
That is 4, so that motion fails. So those in support of Ms. Rogers, we'll do this one more time. If those are in support, please raise your hand and say aye.
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 That is 4. Those opposed, please raise your hand and say nay.
Nay.
That motion carries. Ms. Rogers is the vice chair with, thank you. Congratulations, Ms. Rogers.
Thank you.
Are there any comments, Ms. Rogers, you'd like to make? Colleagues?
Thank you. I have enjoyed truly working with my colleagues on this board for this year. And I'm just excited about the power that we have on this board and looking forward to where we will continue to move Durham public schools. It is important that all of us continue to work together in doing what's right for children. And so I just want to commend Mrs. Joy Harold Goff on the stance that you just took. That means a lot of how you just conducted yourself in this. And I'm really, really proud of you as a colleague and how you just stood. And so that's a good example of how to move us forward. And so thank you to the colleagues.
Ms. Carter.
I'm excited about this next year and seeing what the leadership team can do. As I was reflecting on the last year and thinking about what I wanted to see in leadership this year, some things have come up for me. And one is the importance of seeing leadership. We all know that leadership is service, right? We take our time, we give lots of time and lots of energy to our work on the board. That's more the case than ever for board leadership. So when you're in a chair role or in a vice chair role, you give, and especially the chair role, you give endless amounts of time. You're on call. I imagine it's incredibly stressful. So I want to commend those who've served in the role of chair for what they've done here for the board. And I also, when I think about what's important moving forward, I want to make sure that we focus on building partnerships, both across the board, but also across the community, with the other leaders in our community, with our community members, with our staff, and with our students. I also want to make sure that all of us on the board are willing and open to seeing ways that we can do better, both for ourselves and as a unit. And I think that's going to help us move forward in ways that really support the work that we're supposed to be doing, which is serving the students and that are here in Durham Public Schools. So excited to see what this new leadership team can bring, and very happy for this board right now. So thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Carter. Anyone else? Thank you all for your vote of confidence. I think we have important work ahead. This year has a lot of celebrations. We welcomed Dr. Lewis in for his first year. We also had brought in new senior leadership staff and had lots of celebrations from students and from our schools, and really amazing work happening. And we also had some challenges this year as we continue to navigate budget crises and make really tough decisions. What I see ahead is us thinking about how we collectively put our strengths together to be able to do what's in the best interest of our scholars, the young people that we're working on behalf. How do we advocate for, protect, and do everything we can also to fight against the systems that don't want our students to succeed? And I think when we do that collectively together, that we can really be a strong voice for our students who need us, for our scholars who need us in the work we have ahead. So I think we have a lot of work to do, but I look forward to doing it in collaboration with you all. Yes, Dr. Lewis.
Just want to take a moment to reflect and thank Vice Chair Carter Otten for her service as a board officer, definitely welcoming me and spending a lot of time with me as a new superintendent, as well as Chair Rogers and that role, and certainly appreciate both of them and their leadership this first year, and look forward to leadership going forward. There, as Chair Umstead stated, there is a lot of work to do. And although we have made some gains and made some great strides, and there has been some challenges this past year, super excited about where we're headed in the future with this board. So thank you so much.
Thank you. I'm looking forward to working with all of you, getting some of your wisdom from the past year and working with Chair Rogers as Vice Chair Rogers as we chart a path forward. We'll move to the next item on our agenda. Everyone's good. Review and approval of 2025-2026 BOE meeting schedule.
Move approval of the 25-26 BOE meeting schedule.
Second.
It's been moved by Ms. Rogers, seconded by Mr. Tab. Is there any other discussion?
I wanted to question, to see if we could add the Juneteenth holiday to our, holiday schedule. June 19th for Juneteenth.
It's, we could put it on the board schedule. We would need to check the calendar from academics to see if it's on the district-wide calendar. And I see some shaking heads, meaning it's not on the district-wide calendar. So, there'd be a little rub if we add it here, but it's not a holiday for the district. But that's something we can continue to look at and revisit when we look at board, district calendars.
All right, we can table that.
But it should be something that we add in the future.
Okay.
Any other discussion?
Just clarity on that. So are we saying that it's gonna come back for us to look at, or are we saying we can look at it in the future as next time?
I think
I think what I heard was we can take a look at it for our 26-27 school calendar to ensure that it does make its way to the board calendar as well.
Yes, that's what I understand.
So is the concern that it's not a recognized paid state holiday for staff? Is that and so perhaps we could even just create a different designation of a Durham holiday or a, I guess, but we don't want to create confusion for staff. Is that, yeah. I really appreciate you noting that, Ms. Harrelgoff, that that's an important one in Durham, and the county, I believe, and city offer that as a holiday for staff. So hopefully there's a way for us to look to do that as well.
I believe they do. We have calendars approved for 25-26, but not 26-27. Is that correct? Yes, okay. So when we bring the 26-27 calendar, we can do that. And if there's a way to make that happen this year, I'm leave that to you all though, to bring that recommendation. Any other discussion? All right, all those in favor say aye.
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 Any opposed, please use the same sign. It passes unanimously. The next item on our agenda is a consent item. We have out-of-county tuition rate.
Move approval of the consent agenda.
Second?
It's been moved by Ms. Harrelgoff, seconded by Ms. Byer. Any other discussion? All those in favor say aye.
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 Any opposed? It passes unanimously. Without any other business, we are adjourned.